British family adventure currently shooting in the capital. Here's what's coming up on this week's show. I'll be doing my best not to disturb the filming of The Great Ghost Rescue as I make myself look busy among the cast and crew on the set of the movie. We'll also be checking out the latest films due to hit UK screens over the next couple of weeks, including Sean Bean's gloriously gory Middle Ages thriller Black Death. And we'll finish the show with a sneaky peek at the movie that's getting the discernible fanboy very excited indeed. Ooh!
What's up? How's life? He seems nice.
Now, I'd not heard, but apparently there's some kind of international football competition kicking off next weekend. Who knew? Now, over the last 900 years, this place has seen its fair share of death and destruction. If I was one of those knowledgeable broadcasters, I'd be able to make a link between my immediate surroundings and our next film, which is a grisly British horror thriller set against the backdrop of the outbreak of the bubonic plague in 14th century England. Unfortunately, I'm not such a knowledgeable broadcaster, so here's Black Death.
I am Ulrich, envoy to the bishop. Word has reached him of a village that does not suffer as the rest do. They say it is a sanctuary from the pestilence. I must see for myself how this village is kept safe.
I play a knight called Ulrich, whose job is to root out heretics.
We have the tools. We have the will. We journey into hell. But God travels with us.
He's a kind of character that would just as much slit your throat or say a prayer for you. You know, he's very ruthless in that sense.
Return to your monastery if you feel betrayed, or join us and do God's work.
It was a true event that actually happened, and my mission is to go out and root out these villagers who believe that they are immune to the Black Death because of differing beliefs that they have.
This village we're headed to, they have cast God aside, and in his place sits a demon.
I think the characters make it a very interesting story. They have their vulnerabilities and their kind of flaws, but at the same time they believe what they're doing is right.
There is talk of sacrifice, of men eating men, and of raising the dead. Now we are charged to bring the leader of this village back for confession, trial, and execution. I've
always kind of been interested in that period of time in the sort of dark ages, you know, around that period of the plague and how it affected, you know, almost wiped out half of the population of Europe, and how it was perceived by the masses and by the politics at the time and by the church, and how it was used in some sense to control the masses and the people of Europe.
The pestilence, the Christian disease, sent by your God to ravage his own people. By spilling your Christian blood, the pestilence is kept at bay.
You and your flock, you believe this blasphemous filth.
I think the horror stems from what the people's ignorance, in a sense, that they didn't know where this thing was coming from, and it would disappear and then return again, and people were absolutely terrified.
We do not relish suffering. We do what we must to keep us safe.
It was a time of great superstition and rumour, and you know, it's very kind of like supernatural stuff flying around. It was a scary time and, you know, an uncertain time, and people were just grasping onto anything they could believe in order to survive.
I will offer you all the chance to live. Renounce your vengeful God and you will be free. Keep him and you will die.
I just found it very interesting being involved with something set at that period in time that's not been kind of discovered or made a theme of their film for quite a few years. And we're on horses and we have a lot of sword fight, sword play. And I think we all enjoy that. I think every actor enjoys that kind of thing.
How many? He doesn't know!
He's got a dark, brooding quality that you know, kind of, I think people can identify with. The director has managed to tell a story that's entertaining, if you could call it entertaining. But at least it's interesting.
Be on your guard. Nothing here is what it seems.
And Black Death will be sending a plague of chills and thrills through audiences from next Friday. And while you're recovering, it's time for a quick break. But join me in part 2 with more from the tower.